Practicing my triplets. Welcome to the Writer's Life, place where you get the sights, sounds, smells, taste of my particular writer's life. Ooh, got an itch. And where you get the, I don't know, whatever, I forget. Subscribe if you haven't already. Punch the like button, like you're punching out a dead cat. Where does the dead cat thing come from? If anybody knows, let me know. Lots of dead cats in Monty Python. Anyway, and tap the bell for notifications so that you don't miss out on one single super exciting video. Greek money, I guess. Thanksgiving, huh? In the US anyway. I can recall, usually I'm in Italy this month, and a little bit into December. And, unfortunately, in at least the cities anyway, like Florence, for instance, where I go, and now it's big for restaurants to have like an American Thanksgiving, right? Like they've been doing it for like 10 years or so. About that, maybe a little longer. And if you have American friends over there, they're like, oh, we're going to this one restaurant because they're having an American Thanksgiving. And I'd be like, I'm here. I don't want one, otherwise I'd be back, home, or whatever. But I've gone to a couple of them and, they do it a little bit differently. The food's better. You don't get gargantuan portions, you can still walk after you eat it. But in general, many Thanksgivings, I've skipped that kind of thing and just had like pasta, or even pizza, because I want to have the authentic thing while I'm there. You can always come home and buy a turkey, right? Or a turkey. I don't even like turkey very much. I do like stuffing though, and the gravy stuff. Mashed potatoes you can eat anytime. And I never understood the cream onion thing or the cream string bean thing. Never understood any of that. They served it, and then there was something with marshmallows too. I don't know. And then so Phil, I never understood any of that stuff. You would get it once a year. It would be on the table, and most people wouldn't even touch it, and then it would be thrown out. That's it. So I don't know, but let's see what Philly's got to say before I even start in on my rant. Turkey is awesome. You're crazy. No, I don't know. I would prefer. I like chicken better. My Italian mom would make turkey and bake ziti. Oh, that's funny because for a while, my mother and my aunt would make both like a regular Thanksgiving dinner and pasta. That's funny. But I think we had some toothless relatives too who couldn't handle the turkey meat. I'll leave that one there before I get into trouble. Before I get a phone call. So Thanksgiving marks like really, then there's Black Friday, and then it's full blown. It's already December for that matter, and Christmas is here, right? Everybody, I notice people have their trees going and stuff like that. And so like I'm curious about what's going to start happening next year. I got a feeling we're in a year of big change. 2024, 2025, 2026 is going to be a year of some massive changes because we've already been going through some huge changes. I'm not going to make all my predictions yet, but I'll make a couple now while I don't have a guest. I think well, I don't think for sure. I mean, how can I say that? This is pure speculation. First of all, I don't think Joe Biden's going to run for president. I don't know who's going to take his place. They're talking The Rock now, Dwayne Johnson. I don't know. I don't think he has any experience. Not that it matters anymore, but anyway, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. Anyway, I think Kindle Vella I think they're going to do one or two things. They're either going to beef it up like crazy, throw a ton of money into it, and get it out there to the Asian markets where it should be, so that we can all make some money, or they're going to shit can it altogether. There's going to be no. I don't think it's going to be like it is right now, just a sort of like, on life support. And if not life support, it's just sort of, it's not really growing. It's not really doing anything. It's just sort of there. Like the guest that won't leave, and you're kind of getting annoyed with it. I mean, I keep feeding the beast just because I use it as a tool, but if I were to say I'm using it for the money, forget it, because the money's nothing. But it could be a whole new ball game if indeed they go to the Asian markets, open it up the way they should, and throw the right money into it. Wait, hang on, I need a new producer. That would be me. Now the light's right in my eyes, though. So there's that. What's Phil got to say? Yeah, Vella may go the way of the defunct Kindle world. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of thinking it too, because you're not really hearing much, are you, Phil, about it? Like it just is sort of there, and it's. I do think also, in general, there is going to be a little, not an exodus from Amazon by any means. It's still the biggest moneymaker for independent authors and for traditional authors. But I do see. I think my bullshit detector has been like talking to me lately, and it's like, dude, get all your books wide. I mean, most of them are wide, but not as wide as they should be. I should be on several platforms, including Spotify. So I'm going to work on that in 2024. But I just, something doesn't feel right over there these days. Like the reporting has been off. The ads have been off. I'm not even doing any advertising right now. It's what's the point? Like around Black Friday, you just your ad spend would have to be like $50 a day per book to get noticed. So like I rely more on promos, like with written word media and stuff like that. And I'm not getting paid for that, but I just rely more on those things to gain exposure, or just organic sales at this point, just until the shopping season's over. But I see like people kind of shifting away a little bit from Amazon and going to these other platforms, if not for the exposure and to be in far more stores all across the globe, just for safety's sake, like, because any day you could wake up and like your account's been suspended or your account is gone, and there ain't shit you can do about it. So just in case, I don't know. I just had this, maybe because I'm still suspended from Facebook. I just am a little weird or timid about it, or anxious about it, I should say. The funny thing about Facebook is I haven't even really tried to get back on. And I told you about a month ago I was going to see if it affected sales, and I don't think it has. Maybe a little bit at first, but the more people get used to me not being there, then it'll take care of itself. And I think another thing that's going to happen is I think a lot of legacy journalists, writers, fiction writers, whatever, are going to abandon the legacy system altogether and start flooding into like Substacks and things like that. They already are. The subscription model is doing very well for a lot of people. And I'm not talking like Medium, where you got to kind of pay to play a little bit, or any of that just free. You can put stuff up for free or whatever. I'm talking like, Substack, or, sort of integrate your podcast with selling directly off of your website, stuff like that. I think that's going to become more and more the norm. And, you can you control your own destiny, Luke. Patreon, Kickstarters, things like that. Stuff like Dean Wesley Smith's doing. Dean made a great point, and it kind of hit home with me. First of all, I get lazy, with, like how, it's just up on Amazon. I great, like I'll put it in there for 3 months and then I'll go wide with it. Um, but he said, like, if you're counting on one store to bring you, say, 1,000 sales as soon as you release a book, good luck. That's like the lottery, right? But it's not impossible to believe like you could get 1,000 sales over 100 stores. You would only have to do what, 10 sales per store, which is, like if you were doing that, like that's nothing, right? And so that kind of dawned on me, like that's what I got to be doing. So like I'm just going wide as far as I can, um, and it's going to take some time to gain some traction because I've been so connected with Amazon for so long. And people actually know of me. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, he's that Amazon like Kindle book author, right?" Which kind of irks me, but in a way, it's really true because I was with Thomas and Mercer for 9 books. So it was true. I'd walk in a bookstore and like if they recognize me, the people behind the counter, they recognize me, I would get scowls. They'd be like, "You? There's the door." I'm not kidding. I remember I was in California, Northern California, um, Mill Valley, and there's like one bookstore, right? And they sell coffee mostly, whatever, coffee, cookies, and shit like that, right? And they had books, you know. And I was like, well, I'm going to be here for like 2 weeks, and I just had a new release. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll set up a signing. And they were like, no. I was like, pretty please, no. And then all the way across the country, I went to Woodstock, the Woodstock, right? New York, not Woodstock, Vermont, but Woodstock, New York. And I went into the bookstore there, which is a very nice bookstore. And I did the same thing. And the guy's like, oh, like, he looked up the title and he's like, no, I'm sorry. We can't do a signing for you. It's like, okay. That's when I gave up. That's when I gave up signings. Anyway, I think they're a waste of money anyway. But again, I'm ranting. Phil, what else are you saying? When I finish Sinners, I'm publishing it wide. Good man. May as well, since I'm starting from zero under my real name. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's a great idea. I still see no wrong with putting it into Kindle Unlimited for the first 3 months, just so you gain some traction there, get on the hot new bestseller list, whatever. Use your free days, use your Kindle countdown, and then go wide. That's just my opinion. But I've been doing that for years and years and years with my indie stuff. With the traditional stuff, they just fuck it up right off the bat. So, I have no control over that. Oh, but I do have some news. I did get the rights officially back for Paradox Lake and for The Girl Who Wasn't There. That's big. That's very big. And already, I would imagine The Girl Who Wasn't There will be out, if not next week, the week after. Because next week I have the book number 4 of American Crime Story coming out. So I'll probably wait to the week after that. So I have a little space between releases. That's supposed to be a joke in writer circles because they're like, you shouldn't have a new release. You shouldn't, you should have like 4 or 5 months between releases. But I just keep putting them out. Why not, right? Get them out there. And then in a couple weeks after that, I'll put out Paradox Like the new edition. We're gonna have splendid new covers, some new editing, some new design, and we're gonna get these books back on the bestseller list if we can, because that's where they belong. If I don't say so myself, they were languishing with the present publisher, languishing. After, like, The Girl Who Wasn't There had a really good start and it did okay, but Paradox Lake got screwed up completely. So what are you gonna do? That's when I was like, I want my rights back. All right, that's all I got for you today. I gotta go pick up my skis. Got my ski pass, ready to go. All we need is some snow now, which is coming next week. Big Philly, thanks for chiming in. You make things interesting for me. Everybody, check out Big Philly Substack. Cigars, and write it down there, Big Philly, so everybody sees it. He's got some awesome fiction going on there. Looking forward to Sinners too. And okay, I will talk to everybody tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, probably a little bit of a travel day for some people. I may even come to you on Thanksgiving. What the fuck, right? Friday we have a guest. I can't think of his name right off the bat, but I think he's a pretty big author. Dean Wesley, or not Dean, but Harvey, my uncle Harvey Stambro recommended him. So let me see if I can find his name. Hang on. Don't run away yet. Dan Baldwin. Yes. I admit I have not read his material, but I'm about to check it out because I don't want to go in totally cold. Seems like a nice guy, and he seems like he's got a lot to say, so that's cool. All right, everybody. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, God willing. And ciao, ciao.